Welcome back here once again, everyone. In a piece of news that seems to, well, to be honest with you, here's the thing. After 18 issues, 18 horrendous, horrifying, seem like it would never end, drag out, completely destroying a character, piece of garbage, 18 issues, Tom Taylor's god-awful Superman Son of Kal-El has come to an end. I'm not going to review the final issue because it's total nonsense. It's as bad as the other 70, if not worse. Doesn't get any better. It doesn't tell you anything you want to know. It just shows you just how badly this crap continues to be at everything. What I am going to talk about, however, is the fact that Tom Taylor doesn't seem to understand why his gay Superman fails. He doesn't seem to understand. It's like he understands, but he doesn't want to realize, doesn't want to himself is admitting everything that's wrong with this, and he's somehow acting like he's writing great literary masterpieces or something. It doesn't work at all. In this article here from CBR, we listen to how Tom Taylor once again makes an absolute fool of himself and continues to do so. Tom Taylor on Superman Son of Kal-El's finale and what makes John Kent unique. Well, uniquely boring, that's for sure. Tom Taylor breaks down the unique nature of John Kent and what makes him such a good hero in Superman Son of Kal-El. No, it does not. Goes on all of this nonsense here about how it's going to be ended and all of that. I don't even get into that. Let's get into what it is after CBR asking him, what's it been like to work with DC on this title for the last 18 issues? It's what Tom Taylor had to say. It's been an absolute honor. It's odd for me being a kid from Melbourne who grew up worshipping Superman. Superman was my hero. Now, you could tell he's lying right there. Honestly, you can tell he's lying right there. Because if you really grew up worshipping Superman was really your hero, you would never have made such a god-awful mess of what you've made at this coming. You got the chance to write the story for Superman's son, John Kent. You could have done something really good, but Tom Taylor isn't a fantastic writer. I mean, his work with Suicide Squad and this whole he does alternate titles and things okay, but other than that, no. No, he's not good enough to do it, and it shows. It continues. I would walk down to the shop down the street at 4 years old wearing blue jeans with red underpants pulled over them with a thrift shop Superman t-shirt proudly. For me to grow up to be the writer of Superman is like, statistically, it would have been far more likely and far easier for me to become an astronaut than that. It's a huge honor to steward the next generation Superman. Maybe you should have really aimed for that astronaut thing because you're going to be remembered very unfortunately for the crap you've done. Next question they ask him. I love that the final story of the series highlights just how strong John can be at any given moment. No, it doesn't. Really doesn't. That belt has always been there. It's quietly been a perfect secret weapon. But he only uses it to save his father's life. Was this always the ending you had in mind? Now, before I get into his answer, I'm going to tell you something. In the final issue, it's pretty clear that Tom Taylor was caught off guard that this book was going to be cancelled. It's pretty clear that he spent almost 2 years telling this gay love story thing between John and Jane Nakamura and actually telling nothing about John being a superhero. And he's admitted that many times over. But the way it ends shows he really had no idea what the hell he was going to do and just wrote any crap that he could. So let me get into it. I mean, that Chekhov's belt, we've had people complaining about that. We've had people online complaining, why does he wear this giant belt? What is this? So I've had it in my mind. That's where he keeps his solar energy backup. I've always had that in mind. I love that we get to break the glass in the last issue and save him that way. But in terms of his power level, I think one of the greatest things about this entire series. And listen to this very carefully. And listen to how he once again shows he doesn't understand what the hell he's doing and why this book failed miserably. Listen to it. The thing I love about the entire series is just how strong John is and just how much he never uses that for violence. Right? He never uses that for violence. So in all 18 issues, he punches one person. That was kind of an accident. In 18 issues, he punches one person. One person, not two, not three, not 10, not definite, but no. One person he punches in 18 issues because Tom Taylor, I did a video on this before, okay, what I said that, John Kent being bi, but we know he's gay, is much more interesting, much more entertaining, and a whole lot better than him actually going out there and saving lives, defeating bad guys, that. All of that is absolutely worthless, right? And him just going out there and being gay Superman is a lot better than him actually punching bad guys and stopping people. He doesn't understand in the essence of what comics are. They're visual mediums and people read them for the excitement and the action. I mean, one of Superman's biggest titles without his name on it is Action Comics. People want action. He doesn't get that. He continues on. That was Bruno Redondo and I not being of the same page. That guy was very superpowered. He'd be able to take it. Then he headbutts John and knocks him out. The idea is that the most powerful man on earth just wants to help. Listen to how he goes on and makes it even worse. I think there's something amazing about having all that power and only using it to help people, to rescue people, to lift people up, and to help against a dictatorship, to save refugees. Now he's referring to Jay Nakamura and his band of murderous terrorists, right? Literally are murderous terrorists. And John Kent is perfectly okay with that. And everybody's supposed to be okay with that because Jay Nakamura just says so. Right? This just says so. To help a man on fire and to lift ambulances. If a hospital can't take any more people, take them somewhere else. The things that John has done have all been to help. And that's what Superman is. This man clearly has no idea whatsoever what Superman does. There's nothing wrong with helping people, nothing wrong with transporting an ambulance when it needs to get somewhere. If the hospital is full, nothing wrong with saving people, nothing wrong with taking down dictators, nothing wrong with that. But when that's all you do and nothing else, what he's basically saying is that John shouldn't go out and stop bad guys. No, what he should do is find some kind of wind farm that has wind turbines and just use his super breath to just constantly keep that going to generate power. Why should he stop an alien invasion when he could go and tackle the housing crisis? We could go and tackle all these different things rather than actually doing things people want to do. So when an alien invasion shows up at Earth, they could say to themselves, oh, you know what? These heroes are helping people. Let's leave them alone and go some other planet to go and destroy. You don't understand the essence of Superman. You don't understand it at all. Yes, he helps people, but this is somebody who you can call on when you are in distress, when something is about to fall on you, when somebody is about to kill you. This person shows up. They have that power. They have the godlike abilities, but they choose to use it to help humanity. That is what connects them to people. But you don't get that. You're here telling people that, listen, what makes it much more interesting, what makes it much better is that he's going to be out there lifting ambulances, putting out people who's on fire, hanging out with terrorists, murderous scum, and then somehow also the fact that he kisses his pink-haired boyfriend on camera every opportunity that he gets, that makes it a much better hero than anybody else who's ever showed up. Man, it's just delusional, boy. They continue on asking him, anytime everybody makes a dark Superman analog. There's always a moment of, okay, so he's no longer Superman. Then because he's not the nicest person on the planet anymore, because this is what Tom Taylor had to say. That's right. And that's actually one of the things I always argued about injustice. I mean, when I came out to write that book, this was sort of dream come true stuff, but it was an absolute monkey's paw for that year because I was being asked to write Superman and write DC for the first time. But I had to make my hero evil, and I had to kill my other hero, Lois Lane, and the unborn child. So the only way that I could reconcile that was this is not Superman. This is a sick man, and injustice is Superman is not Superman. That Wonder Woman is injustice. In injustice is not the Wonder Woman. Yeah, but that should be common sense. It's clear they were who they were. There was something else. This was an Ellsworth thing. The injustice they were with the evil versions of them. Okay, could understand that you didn't want to write, but this is what it was. A lot of people prefer justice over the comic was okay, and people like the video game, but the movie that I saw, I didn't really dig it at all. But when I'm saying this is what you had to write, you're already complaining about how you know that. He continues on now. It's a different version of them. Superman, my hero, would never lose it. Even if he lost his Lois, it would only make him work harder and inspire more. For me, Superman's the greatest hero on the planet. And it's just so wonderful to take his son, put him in that same place, and have him be so much for so many people. He continues to make it worse for himself. Listen carefully, yeah? You know, we haven't actually even spoken about the fact that he's got a boyfriend. He's bisexual, right? There was a kiss that was seen across the globe. It made global news. Everyone was talking about it, and people got angry about it. He had to mention this because the only claim to fame that John Kent has is being gay Superman. Nothing else. Literally nothing else. That's all that he has. The whole thing about him kissing his pinky, that made global news because that is what you pushed it for. You admitted that. The fact of it is, I said this before in several videos, and I'll say it again many times as need to be. I think it was issue 5 that happened when the whole he come out and all kind of nonsense. The only reason people bought that comic was to own the book DC used to shoot themselves in the foot. I am not saying that there are people who who probably liked it and they bought it for that, or people who are just collectors of it bought it for that. Okay, that was the only reason that book was what, and you went around making public all kind of thing, going around with all kind of rainbow colored Superman logo on it, when you see all kind of nonsense. You did that. You even admitted that the only reason you made John Kent bisexual, but we know it's gay, the only reason that you did it was to gain media attention. That's all. But you've done that now. You have nothing to fall back on because all you have to do, mention every opportunity that you get, is to mention that John Kent is gay now and he has a boyfriend. That's so amazing. No. You did not make this into a good superhero story. John Kent became a background character in his own book. You propped it up as more Jay Nakamura and Lois Lane, all of that nonsense. You destroyed this character and you keep acting like you have done something really good. Things on. It is kind of nice that if this book was going to make anyone angry, it at least made the right people angry. This is what CBR says. It shows just how ridiculously stupid CBR is, and it shows what going on with them because they literally want to piss off people. That's what they're saying. They want to piss off people, and they're happy to do it. So here's what Tom Taylor had to say. It's hilarious. I got into a conversation with someone. I won't talk about who they were, but they sort of said, obviously, we'll never see Superman attack the roots of the problems. We'll never see him deal with things like human trafficking and going to take on a dictatorship or going to another country to take on the problem. That's what you have police FBI and other people for. I'm not saying Superman can't and won't do it, but there has to be a reason he does it, not just because, okay, rather than dealing with global invasion, he would rather go and tackle the real roots of the problem. You understand me? Like human trafficking or the housing crisis, kind of thing. And that's what he needs to do. Was even put in. Tom Taylor even put it in the second issue of his God Awful Son of Superman run. He put it in where John Kent was actually talking to his father, telling him, why don't you do more? You could. And I was like, shut up, you little shit. What have you done? Nothing. But you want your father to do more, even though Superman has literally saved the universe multiple times. But that's our problem. So he continues on. I was like, have you read my outline? This is literally what's coming up, which is very funny, but that's John. He's really proactive. He doesn't care so much about the ramifications. He doesn't care about who he's going to piss off. He cares about the problem at the moment. He cares about who he has to help. At the very beginning, he saves a boatload of refugees, and that really creates a problem for him globally. But these are refugees who are drowning, and nobody in the world is going to touch them because they don't want to piss off a powerful nation that has resources that can bug them. But John just sees people in trouble, so he helps. That's really what he does throughout this series. No, he doesn't. Anyway, I'm not continuing on because I'll give my point after. When there's a man on fire burning and an army attacking him because they see him as a threat, he stands between them. They all have guns and missiles, and he goes and hugs the guy, and that calms him down. That's who John is. This had to be one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. There have been numerous times you have seen or have had Superman saving people regardless of what it is. If there is a boatload of refugees drowning, I think Superman would save them. He wouldn't be like, well, they live in another country, I won't do that. No, he does it. If somebody is literally, let's say, on fire or something, Superman would go in and he would save that person. That is who Superman is. That's not the story you've been telling. And it's not the story you've been telling. What you've been telling, it is a gay love story between him and Jay Nakamura. Putting Jay Nakamura and his refugee crisis to the front, having Lois Lane run around all over. And all you've had John doing for 18 issues is coming out to everybody he can and literally nothing else. This is why you cannot even tackle what's going on here. You already talk about some woke idiot who you was having a conversation with who said something. And they don't understand Superman. You don't understand Superman. So you two are just perfectly happy to sit down there and talk about a bunch of nonsense neither one of you knows. We continue on here. That's what makes him so compelling, especially in this series. He's not a vigilante or a crusader or a crime fighter. He's a superhero with the focus being on that aspect of him. No, it's not. No, it's not. Because CBR doesn't understand what an actual superhero is. Tom Taylor doesn't understand what an actual superhero is. And they figure to themselves that, you know what, the general public won't understand that either. When you see fans walk away, they blame them and call them homophobes and all kind of nonsense. That's what Tom Taylor had to say. Yeah, and look, that's 100%. I mean, you hit the nail on the head there. Oh, Christ, that's really important that despite the book being called Superman Son of Kal-El, he's not just Clark Kent's son. No son of Lois Lane is going to turn a blind eye when there's corruption and evil in the world. Where there are profits being put in front of people, you're going to step up just as his mother would. You see, this is what I'm talking about here. This is what I'm talking about here. He's basically saying that, listen, Superman would turn a blind eye to certain things, but Lois Lane wouldn't. And John Kent, because of that, we would go on. You're supposed to be the best of both worlds. That's the thing. We'll be the best of both worlds. And you could do it, but you have never evolved this character to be anything. You've made John what to be the perfect super being who does nothing else. When you had him beat Lex Luthor easily at chess, Lex Luthor is a genius. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that John couldn't beat him at chess, but we need some build up for it. You gave us nothing like that. You haven't done anything to fresh out this character. All you've just been doing is just throwing crap at the wall and hoping it sticks. That's it. Is there anything you can tease going forward for John? I actually can tell you something because I've talked to DC today and they've given me the approval to say, so when Adventures of Superman begins, we're going to see some of this in Action Comics number 1050. When Supermen are being murdered across the multiverse by Ultraman. Oh, Christ. I've never heard this nonsense before. So the man who imprisoned John in a volcano, tortured him for years and stole his childhood from him, is now killing his dad across the multiverse. So Val, Zod of Earth 2 and somebody secret come to our universe and ask John to help stop Ultraman, to stop the monster of his life from killing his multiverse dads. So they wouldn't go to Superman, no, they go to John. I'm telling you, Tom Taylor continues to show exactly why he should never have been put to write this book, have been put to do anything about it. He's destroyed this character, and any chance that John Kent ever had to be a fully fleshed out hero is gone. And all I have to say in regards to that is that I, for one, am quite happy that this terrible series has come to an end. Yes, they're giving it a 15 mini 6-issue series, but the state of the comic book industry right now, I am certainly for it again, just burn the entire DC universe and just done with it, because as long as you keep hiring these woke weirdos to write this nonsense, it's never going to get any better. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments, and when the first opinion, I'd love to hear it. And like the video, make sure to hit that thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, ring the notification bell to be notified every time I put out a new video. And I shall see you all next time. Take care.